No more complaining people, their lives are changing. We're flying high, creating a complaint-free world. No more, no more.
Today I want to share with you what I call If Not Now, When. We're going to jumpstart If Not Now, When. It's a very simple message, something that I find we all need to be inspired to do. And in fact, I see what I do as pure inspiration. I was watching, not pure inspiration, that sounds actually diminishing, I think, of what I do. But part of what I do is to inspire you. I had a friend who used to say that motivational speakers were just heat merchants. You go in, get everybody hot, and then you leave, and everybody cools off. In some ways, that's true because people get distracted and they also fall back into their old habit patterns. But the other thing is that we all need to be reminded that we're good, that we're special, that we're capable, and that if we're going to do something, now's the time. When I was working to lose weight and get in shape, which that was about 7 years ago when I was really working to get into like amazing shape and working out 6 days a week and all this kind of stuff. And I remember someone got me a shirt that was a little form-fitting. And I was talking to somebody about, you know what, I don't know, I'm going to wait until I'm in better shape. And this person said, why? I mean, if not now, when? You know? I mean, I get what you're saying. And this isn't about trying to dress in ways that you're not comfortable. It's about asking yourself, what am I waiting for in the things that I profess to be important? And last night was a very good example. I had worked all day yesterday, had some meetings up until late and early into the evening, and then I took Teddy out to the marina, which is one of his favorite things to do. This dog loves to go out on the dock. He loves to look in the water. He loves to sit in my lap while we're sitting out on the benches. And so I was taking Teddy out, and I noticed the water was super clear. The water here is often clearish, but not as clear as it was yesterday. And you can see straight to the bottom. Of course, it's not very deep here. Where I live, it only gets to about 8 to 10 feet, it looks like. Anyway, so you could see it was clear. It was beautiful. I was taking Teddy, and I look over there, and there are my 2 paddle boards on the rack. And I said to myself, you know, the next time it's pretty like this, the next time it's a nice night like this, early evening, I'm going to take Teddy out and we're going to watch the sunset. I haven't been on my paddleboard in probably 2 months. And so I was walking by and I had that thought. And then I remembered that I was going to talk with you about, if not now, when. Our ego often wants us to put off that which is good for us. Everything from exercise to apologizing, to forgiving. All of these things are things that our ego wants us to put off. Our ego, of course, is our small-minded self. We have our ego self and our higher self. We have our angel on a shoulder, or angel on our shoulder and devil on the other shoulder. We have all these metaphors that the human consciousness understands, and that is that internal conflict that is going on within our minds. And our ego wants us to put off things that are good for us. And so what I'm asking you to consider is, what things might your ego be trying to push you to put off such that you don't do them to your own detriment? So that your ego kind of wants you to always feel a little bad about yourself. If you feel bad about yourself, the ego can get you to do and not do things that it wants you to do and not do. And remember, the ego's primary function, excuse me, is to keep you from being embarrassed and pushed out of the tribe. So it keeps you from doing things. It keeps you from trying things. So as we're walking back from the marina yesterday afternoon, walking back up the dock, and I see my boards and I'm thinking about this talk I'm going to do for you all and everything, then my ego starts piling on. And what do I mean by that? It starts piling on all of the things that are necessary for me to go paddleboarding. And I think about it sometimes that it's more like when I used to have horses going paddleboarding, because it really is a bit of a, it's not like, oh, grab my board and go get in the water. I have to bring my paddle down from the condo. I have to put Teddy into a life jacket. The board is not heavy, but it's awkward. And it's on the top rack in the back corner. And then I have to carry it, put it in the water. So it just feels like my ego is always the thing that gives you all those reasons why this is going to be so difficult. Ultimately, we did it, of course, and we just had a wonderful time going in and out. All the bars and restaurants are open along the Keys now, and there's live music. And so to be able to have the sunset setting over your shoulder on the right, over the Everglades, and on your left, you've got live music and people after being in quarantine all this time. I'm not going to say anything about whether or not they choose to socially distance or wear a mask. That's kind of up to them. And it is outdoors. So anyway, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Now, when our ego tries to slow us down and keep us from doing something, I talked about this in, I think it was yesterday's, no, maybe it was 2 days ago, JumpStart. Anyway, check out Spotlight. If I had spotlit in my mind as I was going out there, the feeling and the image of being out there on the paddleboard with Teddy, watching this gorgeous sunset, listening to live music, and this guy was playing nothing but Beatles and Pink Floyd. I was in heaven. So the ego is going to try and get you to put things off, especially things like exercise, etc. To this day, I have never gotten up going, man, I can't wait to exercise. It's just not something that I feel. The ego wants us to put off things that are good for us. I'll just leave it at that. And I want to circle back to forgiveness. If you need to forgive somebody or yourself, what are you waiting for? If you need, I'll give you one. This is very personal. And one of the things I'm going to do more and more and have done on these jump starts is be more and more super personal with you about my own stuff. And one for me the other day was that I had some real challenging experiences. I went from one thing to another, and inside I'm going. And each one of them diminishes your capacity to accept the next thing. You know this. And it also causes you to struggle to handle any of them because you're piled on. And my mind was starting to slip down into self-criticism, criticism of the world, negative feelings, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the next morning, I was journaling, and I was noticing of my writings and what I was saying about myself and others. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to have to turn that around. And of course, the ego mind went, no, you can't. It just kept, that's when it turned up the fire. And I went, I'm going to have to get ahead of this thing. And at some point I am. And so I started affirming. I just brought to mind a new affirmation and just kept running it through my mind. I live a great life. I live a great life. I live a great life. It worked. All I know is that it turned everything around. I've been in a much better mood. So even in your own mental processes, at some point, you're going to get over something. At some point, you're going to forgive somebody. At some point, you're going to learn to appreciate yourself. Or you're just going to suffer. You know, the Buddha said that life is suffering. But he also said that that suffering comes from our own reactions to what occur, not to what happens in and of itself. So I want you to think about, what is it that would benefit you, and do it today. Do it today. Something large, something small. I remember when I was 17 years old, I read my first Wayne Dyer book, Your Erroneous Zones. And he said, if you're talking about, wanting to exercise someday, close this book right now and do a push-up. And I was sitting outside on the stairs waiting for my girlfriend to come out of a class in college. And I put down the book and did a push-up. So I'm inviting you today to put down the book and do a push-up. Stop talking about it and do it. If you want to reconnect with someone, reconnect. If you want to clean out your closet, clean out your closet. But do it as if your life depended on it. Make it your priority. Okay? If not now, when? Well, the answer is today. Let me check in and see what your closing comments are before we say goodbye and I go into our complaint-free meditation group. Today, of course, as I said, we're going to be meditating in front of this beautiful scene. And so I want to say once again, thank you to Laura for being here as a first-timer, and also Sarah, first time from Wales. Great to have you. There's Miyuki. Miyuki is part of our complaint-free meditation program. She meditates live with us every morning. A lot of people are here with us live every morning to meditate, and several of people are here virtually. It's great to have you, however you're able to be here with us. Wow, awesome. Today is one of those wonderful days when we have people from all over the world. I think we do every day, but today we have them checking in. Sonia, hello from Israel. Great to see you. Awesome. So touched that you were here with us this morning. Dominic says hello to Sarah and hello to Lauren from Brighton, UK. I was working on it's so funny. Oh my God. Let me just quickly tell you this story. You're not going to believe this story. This is my quote of Randy the Puppet. Anyway, that's my imitation. If you get a chance, check out Randy the Puppet on YouTube. Thank you. Lots of love from Australia. All right. This is getting too creepy. Let me tell you, Lauren, Cindy, and Karen, and Sarah. Who else? Okay. So I talked to you the other day. Oh, it was about the Spotlight JumpStart. And I shared with you this idea of putting together images of where you want to go and how I used to have a vision board and I would get up and look at it every single morning. And as a result, I literally got everything from being on Oprah to meeting and developing a semi-relationship with Maya Angelou as a friend, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, to a Rolex watch, all this kind of nonsense. Anyway, I suggested you do that. And then I realized that since I moved here, I don't have a vision board. And I decided that what I was going to do was to take my goal list, my life goals, and then I was going to pull images from the internet. It was so easy. I dragged and dropped them onto a file. Probably took me 20 minutes to get 40 or 50 pictures. This includes everywhere in the world I want to visit. And I put them all into this file, and I'm putting them onto an electronic picture frame. It's going to be here on my desk so I can see it all the time. The point I'm trying to make is that I dragged and dropped images of Australia, Wales, and Israel just yesterday morning. And here you are. And soon I'll be there. If you know where you're going, you'll get there. If you don't, you'll go everywhere else. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Be sure and like Will Bowen, facebook.com/Will Bowen. And also be sure and share today's Jumpstart. Let's inspire the world. Enjoy this weekend. For those of you who are part of our complaint-free meditation group, I look forward to meditating with you live in just a few minutes. And for those of you who are not, check it out. You get 30 days for free. You know, it's funny, I've noticed something. I was looking at the people who have signed up for the program and the people who have stayed in the program. And we've had some people cancel, probably 5 or 6. Not a single one of those people ever showed up for a live meditation or watched one. The people who are there every day, they see the benefit in their lives, and you will too. So check it out, all right? Enjoy today. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Remember, you are loved and lovable. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye, everybody.
No more complaining people. Their lives are changing. complaint free.